Yo guys, welcome back in today. So today we're going to be talking about a wooden Egyptian statue. Now it's interesting because the first time that I found out about the statue, I was really blown. My mind was blown, to be honest with you, because of the way that it looks, the realism of it. It almost seems like it's alive still to this day, which is just a testament to Egyptian craftsmanship, you know what I'm saying? And so this priest, he was a high priest, he was a scribe to the king or the pharaoh. He was found in his tomb with a wooden statue, and then his wife as well, or a statue that is assumed to be his wife, was found within this tomb in Egypt as well. And it's just crazy how real this statue is. When I looked at it, I keep looking at it. This is a very, very old, if I'm correct, it's around 4,500 years old or 4,500 years old. It dates back to the 4th to 5th dynasty. And it's made out of wood. So let's talk about this a little bit. Originally, of course, there's theories that the Sahara Desert, right, which obviously Egypt is part of, well, it's part of the desert area, right? And so with the Sahara Desert, or the desert area of a lot of parts of like North Africa, parts of West North Africa, parts of East North Africa, they have desert, a lot of sand. But a lot of scientists believe, a lot of people believe that thousands of years ago, the Sahara Desert and deserty areas in North Africa was actually full of vegetation and full of like grass and trees and hills, which is even crazy to even think about. But I'm saying that to say this, that of course, naturally, it has always been told that Egyptians had to go to different parts of, you know, the Middle East or Africa or different parts of the world, have it imported to where they could have wood, right? So this gentleman is made out of cedar wood, and it's believed that cedar wood was not in Egypt at that time, right? So it's like they had to get cedar wood from outside of Africa or within Africa. I really don't exactly know the parts of the world where cedar wood is. My thought process was that if these areas were green at one point, would it be a possibility that this wood could have just came from Egypt? Look, I don't carbon date. I don't do any of that. I don't even know the beginning of doing that when it comes to like carbon dating or how you even date wood or anything in this world, to be truly honest with you. So this is just a hypothesis, a thought in my head, but I always thought about that. Actually, I'm gonna make a video about the process of how they believed that the Sahara Desert in North Africa was very green, because they're finding fossils and bones and stuff in the desert that of animals that couldn't have existed there unless they had some type of food source. So back to this gentleman, his name is Ka-aper or Ka-aper. I'm probably just gonna call him Ka-aper or Ka-aper. Ka-aper, we'll just keep it at that, if I'm pronouncing it right. So the interesting thing about Ka-aper is that his eyelids, if I'm correct, are made out of copper. Then his eyeballs are made out of different crystal rocks. I think some quartz are in there as well. And then the rest of his body is made of cedar wood. And so with this picture, the picture I'm showing you right here on the side, he's holding a staff, which would make sense, walking staff. He's a priest as well. It's also believed that he had a copper cylinder in his hand as well that he doesn't have now. The eyes, the details, the wood. In ancient Egypt, if you don't know, there's not as many wood. Actually, there's probably not a lot. There's probably, I don't know, maybe a little bit over a handful. I could be wrong about that, but maybe a little bit more than that of wooden art, or maybe like sculptures. A lot of sculptures in Egypt, as a lot of people should know, are made out of some type of like stone or rock stone or rock, which makes these wooden pieces more rare, very rare. And I think also too, when they're kept in a tomb and they're kept inside of different burial sites or pyramids, it definitely helps to preserve it. And obviously wood doesn't have a long shelf life compared to stone, you know, if it's not alive. If it's a tree and it's still alive for hundreds of years or thousands of years, then it's still there. It's still probably that same wood, or maybe it's new wood. I really don't even know how trees work. So maybe it's new wood, maybe it sheds and it's new wood over time. But if you leave wood out and you carved it and then you leave stone out, obviously the wood is probably going to erode over time quicker than stone would. So we always got to think about how things were actually happening 4,500 years ago versus today. I think a lot of people can't really conceptualize that. It's very hard for me to conceptualize almost 5,000 years ago and maybe 5,000 years in the future, somebody will be watching this, so what up? This sculpture is actually in the Egyptian museum, so if you guys are in Egypt, I would definitely tell you to go see this. I'm just not gonna lie, when I see this in wood and how amazing it is, it sort of kind of blows my mind. I ain't gonna front. Like, I just keep looking at it and staring at it, and I'm just like, wow, like, this is crazy to me. If I was the first one to find this and I saw this, that would be so, I think, amazing, and also a little bit frightening. I'm not gonna front about how realistic it is, but not in a bad way, but in a good way, like shocked. More, I guess, like more like shocked. And there's probably so much more to be discovered in the Sahara Desert and Egypt in general, especially in the pyramids and the different burial sites, and who knows what's under the sand. I mean, I'm under the big belief that high technology is still under the sand. Even if it was high technology for almost 5,000 years ago, like, I really believe that there's things that we're going to find in the future in Egypt. I feel like this woodwork, this wood piece alone is worth going to Egypt. When I saw it, I was just like, yo, this is crazy. Like, this is wood 4,500 years ago. Wow. So, yo, guys, check it out. Please like, subscribe, turn on the bell notification down there so you get all my videos. Add me on all social medias, which is African Network, which is Instagram, Twitter, SoundCloud, Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok. Each one teach one. Always love each other. Always learn from each other. And yo, guys, until next time, Hotep. Peace. One love.